is to help students understand multiple perspectives and from different cultures, from different groups, and from different nation states. For example, if you look at Afghanistan and the US participation there, I think one of the major problems in some of the wars in which the United States has participated is that we didn't have an understanding of the cultures of places like Afghanistan or Vietnam. So I think that we need to have a kind of cosmopolitan education, what some writers call it, where citizens throughout the world will understand each other. And I think to do that, we have to minimize ethnocentrism and we have to emphasize cosmopolitanism to help students understand what cultures are like, how they differ. For example, I think if the United States had someone sitting at the table when they entered Afghanistan who really understood the cultures from the point of view of the participants and citizens of Afghanistan, we could have avoided many errors. I think the same is true when the United States ended up in Vietnam. I think or the French, for example, in the 50s, when they explored countries in North Africa, that we need to really, Algeria, for example, the French in Algeria did not have a deep understanding of the Algerian culture and of the nation. So I think nation states, we need to educate students where they will be cosmopolitans, where they will understand not only the national journey, which a lot of nation states focus on. So we need a kind of education that expands nationalism, that expands, as important as I've argued, that the cultural identities of students are, they need to be educated beyond their culture. They need to understand the different groups within their nations, but also the different groups within the world. Because we cannot solve, for example, global warming. We cannot solve the problems of racism or sexism, homophobiaism. We cannot solve these problems within national boundaries. These problems have to be dealt with globally. And so I would say that educating students to be cosmopolitan, reaching beyond their own communities and their own nations, to understand cultures far beyond. And also, we need to help students understand that that global understanding are also important to understand their own nations. If you live in the United States, much of your food comes from Mexico, for example, and other countries in the Americas, that we can't really understand our own national journeys unless we understand how that national experience intersects with other nations. So I would say global understanding, cosmopolitanism is really a high priority for the 21st century.